Hi, I'm Brentan Schellenbach, and I'm here to give you a short sequence for a snowy day, which it is the very first snowy day of the season here in Chicago. And definitely felt a few things for the first time today that I felt all the time last winter. So one of the things we'll be addressing is how you get really clamped up in the inner thighs, right? Like, because everywhere you're stepping, those of you who have snow days, the roads are really slippery, so your inner thighs need to work extra hard. So we're gonna work on kind of soothing that area out a little bit. And one of the other things I think we all can feel on snow days is just a general contraction, a general pulling in to ourselves. And so we'll be working to open up a little bit out of that without totally overdoing it, because we don't want to psych your energy system out, like give you yoga caffeine. We just want the body to feel like it's having a normal day and not like all this crazy blizzardy white stuff is flowing around like madness. So to start, we'll be in downward facing dog with 2 yoga blocks or some books that are evenly sized. This is my actually favorite way to do downward facing dog, because it gets so nicely into the shoulders and so much out of the wrists. So it takes some of the heaviness away from the pose, which on snow days can feel like there's all too much of. So ground your hands and draw up and back. Be mindful if your blocks are slippery. And then just kind of relax into your shoulders. You can pedal out through the legs. Start breathing, start letting go of the back of the head and the chin. As you bend your knees, start to tilt your frontal hip bones down towards the thigh bones, raising the sitting bones higher up to the sky. So you start to open up a little bit of the top of the hamstring muscle. And then push your blocks away from you. Push your blocks away from you. See what that does on the upper back. See how that engagement is, and then you can just relax your shoulders back into place and then push the blocks away from you and let them kind of sag back into place just to feel all body systems. And whatever you're more comfortable with, if you feel really grounded in the feet, you might just walk your hands back, but I feel pretty good in the hands, so I'll walk my feet forward. And hang out here in the comfiest forward fold that you can possibly give yourself, which should feel really good because you're already energetically so curled in. And so curl yourself in as much as you can. So as much of the front body is sandwiched together and touching each other, even if you have to get really low in the knees, some people have to do that. Some people have to widen the feet apart. And if this is too much for your own thighs to hold, guess what? A chair can hold you for you. So you might even just plop yourself down into a chair and just take a seated forward fold. Or you might just save that one for the office the next time that you're there. And then inhale, stretch forward halfway, integrate your shoulders, and come up as much as you need to. Exhale, come up. Okay, so let's get a little spinal movement here. So I think one of the things is we just want to feel like every part of our body has been moved, it's been stretched, and there's new life going through it. So to initiate that, take your feet hip-width distance, take your hands onto the front of your thighs, and sit down for chair. Keep the ball mounts of your feet on the ground, but drag your weight back into the heels. And then just press lightly into your thighs. Go ahead and untuck your tail. Stretch your sitting bones away from the backs of your knees and look up with your chest. Your throat arches back in a full shape, and you look up gently. And then exhale, opposite, angry cat. Tuck the tail. Round the heart back, shoulder blades go away from each other, curl all the way up. And then gently set the shoulders down into place. And so this is standing cat-cow. So we'll take 5 rounds of these breath and movement together. Ready? Inhale, sit down, chair pose, look up. Exhale, curl in, round all the way to stand, and roll the shoulders down. Inhale, chair pose, drag the weight back into the heels, then you sit and arch up. And exhale, curl under, roll all the way to stand. Inhale, sit. Cow pose. Exhale, round. Tadasana. Inhale, sit down. So do chair pose first, and then add the back bend later. And then exhale, curl in. Roll all the way up. Let's take one more. Roll the shoulders down into place. Take a big inhale. Reach the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we can take the hands down to the blocks and move into low lunge with the right foot forward. So drop your back knee down. And if you need cushion for support, then just take a little cushion underneath the knee. Just stretch your pelvis all the way forward so your right knee tracks right over the second ankle, or the second toe rather. Push into your blocks, take the shoulder blades on the back, and then arch the back up and look up. And this is how we're addressing that inner groin and thigh tightness. So to address it, just soften and spread as much as you can. And you want to feel warmth. So not intensity of stretch. Warmth is always a prerequisite to intensity of stretch. So you actually have to go in to your experience and observe where is warm and where's cool. Like, where isn't everything integrated? So this becomes more of a restorative lunge for us, really, than anything else. It's kind of clearing the muscles from the patterns of their holding and their tension. And then lightly start to drag the pelvis back. Right knee can go back. Maybe it might feel nice to go back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Stretch the left leg up. I know we didn't do that on the other side, but that's okay. Exhale, bring it through. See how that feels. If that felt really good to you, you might, after this video, pursue some sun salutations. Maybe this just is a precursor to a deeper practice, but these poses have so much value just by themselves. So we're just stretching the pelvis down and forward as much as feels good or appropriate here. And for some people, that might mean that you're farther back. That's okay. And I don't like to feel like a total disregard for the muscles on the front of the pelvis. I like to relax evenly into it over time and really make sure that what is being stretched is also being warmed, and that it's warming the areas around it. So if you're feeling pockets of warmth and pockets of cool, conversations are not happening in places where they perhaps should. Activate your lower abdomen to the spine. That might change how you move your pelvis. That's a cool thing to experience. And then lift the heart, look up. And gently start to shift the pelvis back in whatever way feels good. Don't think about it too much. Your mind's usually not the smartest person to talk to regarding things, ways the body should be moving. And from here, let's go ahead and come to a seat. Let's take one more pose together, and then we'll take a little bit of pranayama to seal the deal. Start by stretching the legs out in front. you could also do this in a chair. If you feel like you're being dragged behind you, perch yourself up onto something. This block will do the trick a lot. But you want to feel the pelvis totally upright. If it's not totally upright, sit in a chair because you'll get more out of the pose. So if you're sitting in a chair, you just cross one foot over the other, one leg over the other like you do all the time, and you'll work the same way. So if you're on the floor, take the right foot in, press both sitting bones down and lift the torso evenly out of it, let the shoulders drop. And then from here, if your sitting bones feel good, step the foot over. This will stretch the hip. Now, if your sitting bones are as grounded now as they were all the way back in the day when the foot was here, that's when you can lift one sitting bone temporarily to draw the other leg back. Now, both sitting bones want to return to the ground. So whatever pose you're choosing, choose it mindfully based on what makes sense in your foundation. Go ahead, take the leg. If you're working in a chair, put your hands on your top thigh and kind of push your thigh away from you. But if you're down here, hug your thigh towards you. It might sound different, but it's actually kind of the same. Hug your thigh towards you, lift your back ribs, soften the shoulders. When you're ready, twist over to the right. Take the right hand behind you. Just kind of hug onto that left knee. And you're trying to rotate straight along an axis here. So as the pelvis roots down, you should feel drawing in and up energy so that the spine still lengthens vertically up and down like a flagpole. And then you rotate around it. Shoulder blades draw together on the back. And keep lengthening as you twist. Keep lengthening as you spin. I always like to take the chin totally out of it, like the chin isn't allowed to twist for me until really the very end of my pose. Because if I start to twist with my chin first, my neck will sort of yank me into a weird spot. So I really want to feel that twist originate from the pelvis grounding. When you're ready, unwind. Set up for the other side. How you are on side 2 is probably, but not necessarily, how you were on side 1. So you just find what works. We're just twisting. The legs are irrelevant to that. So you just find what works. Hug the knee in. Ground your sitting bones. If you're on a chair, push your thigh away. So that's the other cue. Start the twist from the sitting bones grounding, and you're just rotating on your axis here. So once the left hand grounds, it can help you spin, but don't let the strength of your arm turn you too quickly or too much into your twist. So you want to take all elements of side bending and back bending out of your twist. And it's a constant adjustment, so don't think that you're looking to make all of these adjustments so you can have the perfect pose and then just like be totally still and statuesque. Every moment is a moment of observation where you find out new things about where you can go. And then unwind. So from here, hopefully you feel like you can do a little easy sitting. You might also choose to sit up on a block. And the last thing I'll offer you today, in lieu of the Shavasana, is we still want a little closer meditation that really helps us assimilate on all levels the benefits of the practice that have just taken place, which we have no concept of what they are because they're way beyond the mind. So let's take a little Nadi Shodhana. That's alternate nostril breathing. So to begin, you'll take the left hand up to the face. You'll take your first and second finger to the forehead and take your fourth finger to your right nostril and your thumb to your left. And then from here, go ahead, close your eyes, plug your right nostril, and take a big inhale through the left. Close the left nostril, open the right, and breathe out. Inhale through the right. Close it. Open the left and breathe out. Inhale through the left. Close it. Open the right and breathe out. Inhale through the right. Close it. Release the left and breathe out. Inhale through the left. Close it. Release the right and breathe out. Inhale through the right. Close it. Release the left and breathe out. Release your left arm very easily, just down to the thigh. Let it float. Let the right hand mirror the left hand on the right thigh. Drop your shoulders, pull your skull back. Take a moment to observe. You can join our hands together at our heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. And hopefully now you'll be going out there and building snowmen all over the place, because snow is fun. Have a good one.